Good morning everyone. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. There'll be no crashes, no huge jumps. Well, I hope there'll be no crashes. But today is more about exploring. One of the things I like about mountain biking is exploring new places and new tracks. And today we're in Taupo in the central North Island. And in fact, hold on there, I'll show you the view, eh? Check that out. This is Lake Taupo. So we're right on the shore here. This is what Lake Taupo is famous for. And there are some trails called the Great Lake Trails that are just up on the road from here. So we're going to go drive to a place called Kinloch, and we're going to base our ride from there. And I'll explain a little bit more when we get there. Alright, we made it to Kinloch, right on the shores of Lake Taupo here. Got the trail forks loaded, and we're going to start with a section called K2K. Pretty imaginative name, that one. Anyway, it's going east, I believe, along the top of Lake Taupo. The plan is to do about 50 Ks today, so we're going to have to put the old levo in eco if we want to go that far. But anyway, let's get started. Now these tracks are multi-user tracks, so you have to keep that in mind. Oh, they've got these silly little gate things, haven't they? Not too bad. Okay, so these tracks are multi-use tracks. I think horses, walkers, joggers, bikes coming the other way. So you need to keep that in mind when riding on it. I don't know what people think of me. I'm not wearing elbow or knee pads today because it's well, it's a pretty easy track, but I've got my full face helmet on so I can record this, so people are probably looking at me a bit weird. How's it going? Looks like we come to the first junction.
Yep, have fun in there.
Yeah. Alright, so we've made it to the first junction and we're going to go, apparently it's quite a bit uphill now. I just met a guy who said it's a big climb up here. 12 Ks. Otaketake. Now I know someone's going to get me on my pronunciation, but anyway, it looks like Otaketake to me. And 12 Ks up this way. Yes, riding the old full face. People are looking at me a bit weird, but I want to get a good camera angle for you anyway. So Otaketake 12 Ks uphill this way. Now I say it's uphill for 12 kilometers, but in reality it's 365 meters of climbing and 233 meters of descending. So it's a lot more undulating, although I don't know about you, whenever you do an undulating trail, you always seem to notice the climb more than the descend, but I guess on an e-bike it doesn't really matter either way. Actually, the tracks through here are a little bit more interesting than I thought they might be. Actually, I thought it was just going to be a big wide gravel path, but there's nothing difficult or technical, but you know, it's quite a scenic, windy track up through here. I must admit, the more I ride, I'm starting to get used to the fact that we're in eco now, and it starts to feel quite natural. For a long time there I was like, oh, it feels just sluggish, but I think your legs just adjust to whatever amount of power you've got. How about that for a view, eh? That's pretty impressive. Look at that. Apparently one of the amazing things about this ride is some of the views you can get, and this is no exception. Come out to an open clearing and you can see all the way back to the lake. Beautiful day, the sun's coming out. I think it's going to get really hot. Anyway, so we better keep moving. Okay, where have we got to? Alright, so we've come out to the road. There's a signpost here, says 14 Ks back to Kinloch. and it looks like we got to go that way. Got old trail forks out. Looks like we have to do a little bit on the road. I didn't actually know that, but anyway, won't harm. A little bit on the road, and then it should be, I guess we've done a fair bit of climbing, so I'm assuming therefore that there should be some good downhill back to the lake. I guess you just keep following the blue markers. Like there's a track going in here, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only a very short section of road, and then we're back into single track again. And we're back into it. She's nice and windy. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. This is lunch spot, is it? Alright, well we made it up that first hill. It wasn't too bad, especially on the e-bike, although I did have an eco the whole way. Only used about 15% of the battery or something, so not too bad so far. So I think we'll manage the whole day. It's only 11:30, but I think it's probably about time for first lunch. Bit of a map station up here, good shady spot, and then we'll carry on back down to the lap for, I guess, leg number 2. Okay, this next section is called Oracao, and basically where the arrow is, and we're going to go back down to the lake. Now, according to trail forks, we're actually doing it in the reverse direction, so we'll have 9.3 kilometers down to the lake and 388 meters of descending and 230 meters of climbing. So again, not quite as downhill as I thought, more of an undulating trail. Now you may be wondering, it's quite remote out here. What sort of preparation have I done for this ride compared with normal? And I haven't done a lot, to be honest. I've obviously told my wife exactly the route I'm taking and when I expect to be back. I've got my mobile phone, hopefully if I do get some trouble. Got enough tools to be able to fix a puncture. I've got a tube and a pump, tyre levers, chain tool to fix a broken chain. Obviously I've got a spare motor in my backpack. Okay, that's not true, but it almost feels like it, to be honest. That's always my biggest worry, that suddenly the old Bros motor goes and that's the end of my motor and I have to pedal on out of here, but hopefully that doesn't occur. I'm also riding, obviously nothing stupid. I don't have knee pads or elbow pads on today because I'm literally just going to have a, as I say, cruisy safe ride. But yeah, when you are going out on these rides on your own, you do need to take I think a few more precautions than you would on a normal ride. I must admit, this is a loop we're doing around this track, and I honestly don't know if there is a right and a wrong or a best direction to do it in. I guess when I get to the bottom I might be able to give you a clearer idea as to whether I think it would work better in the other direction. I don't know, but I'm meeting a few riders coming the other way, but then I don't know what that means. There could still be people doing it my direction as well. There you go. Yeah, come on through, mate. Having a good day? Warm. Yeah, she's warm. I keep kind of expecting like a big downhill at some stage, but that's not really happening. It's sort of kind of undulating up and down. Halfway to Oracao Bay. Okay, 5 k's to go, I guess. Oh, you alright, man?
Yeah, good.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. Well, that was a little bit sketchy. Nearly had a crash there. I was going pretty slow. He was going a bit quicker, so I was going uphill. but I was also pulling my seat up because it wouldn't go up, so I only had one hand on the bike when he came around the corner, but luckily I was almost stopped. One of the funny things about this track is that I keep thinking I'm going to do an extended bit of downhill. I turn the camera on and then it just goes down a tiny bit and then it's going up again, and there doesn't seem to be any sustained downhill, which is probably a good thing because being a two-way track is that but yeah, I'm kind of looking to get some speed up somewhere. Gonna have to check the topography on this track. It feels like I climbed for 12 k's and now I'm still climbing. So I'm gonna have to have a close look at that. I must admit, one of the cool things about an e-bike is that once you get pedaling and moving, especially in the shade, you can actually get a nice bit of cool air over you, and it does help you cool down. So I think I'd be slogging it out a bit on acoustic bike today. There's plenty of people riding them though. Well, this looks like it could be fun. This is, I must admit, my favourite bit so far. I think it's kind of feels like we're kind of going downhill, a little bit of up in it, but it's mostly down now, and in the shade, flowy track, what's not to like? All the while you have to be very mindful that you could meet someone coming the other way, so you kind of have to ride. If you can't see around a corner, you basically have to assume you're gonna have to stop on that corner. All right, must be getting near civilization. There's a few tents in the bush. Looks like a toilet. Loads of tents. Oh, look at that. Almost tempted for a swim. All right, we've made it back down to the lake. We're not back at Kinloch yet. I think that's still about 9 kilometres away, but we're down on the lake. Must be time for second lunch. Half tempted for a swim, but you guys really don't want to see that. May go for a wee paddle though, and yeah, have a second lunch. So we ended up going for a bit of an old man paddle, but the water felt so nice. Went for the full-on swim. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to ride with the wet chamois for a while, but to be honest, it was totally worth it. Yeah, sorry about those images. I hope they didn't scare any kids. Anyway, it's then up the hill on the K2K section. That stands for Kinloch to Oracao Bay, I believe. 8.4 kilometres, 320 metres of climbing and descending. And we've got the Trail Forks map. We're actually doing it in the opposite direction. Now this was an amazing day, lots of amazing views, and I ended up with so much footage that I just kept struggling to keep cutting and cutting to make it into a reasonable length video. So what I decided to do was to make this part one of a two-part video. So today we've done the Otaketake, Oracao, K2K loop based from Kinloch. And in part two, we'll go the other side from Kinloch and we'll go up and do the Headlands loop. These are awesome trails, I must admit. Had a great day. I was just out on my own. Was out for about 6.5 hours all up, and even on the e-bike. Must admit, I had pretty tired legs by the end of the day. But if you ever get a chance to ride these trails, it's definitely worth doing. Check out on there as a website, because there are even more trails that you can do even further around the lake, and you actually have to get a water taxi across one point. Have done that years ago, and definitely worth checking out. If you do enjoy these videos, a huge amount of work goes into them, especially this one. So if you haven't subscribed already, would love it if you did that. And anyway, we'll see you back in Kinloch. All right, back to the lake. Question is, do I go in again? I might not show you that. Alright, well we're back at Kinloch. It's Fruju tropical snow time. No, they don't sponsor me. I wish they did, I really like these. We've done 34 Ks and got 58% of the battery left, so we can still go quite a long way. We haven't been out that side yet, and there's supposed to be a nice headlands loop, so once we've had this, we might head on up there.